morning, Hacksters! Today we have with us Eduardo Oliver and Victor Altamirano. Welcome, guys.
Hello, hello. Thank you for having us.
Hello, everyone.
So these folks are the winners of our Impact Prize from the Azure Sphere Securing Everything contest. So it's about building secure devices with the Avnet Azure Sphere MT3620 starter kit. Folks, I wonder if you could go ahead and introduce your project, like what you built and why you built it.
Yeah, of course. First, we want to say quite a lot of people have to undergo cardiac tests frequently in expensive hospitals with gigantic measuring devices and all medical devices that work through wireless connections must take care of health-related data and with the maximum security protocols. So we take advantage of Azure Sphere's technology and all his security protocols. We create a real-time heart rate and electrogram monitoring system with its own dashboard deployment for the final users.
Oh, awesome. And you incorporated a bunch of different technologies into your project. I've got it pulled up here. Yeah, so you have the health sphere, a Holter monitor. I had to look that up actually, and you just described it, but to recap for everyone, it's a wearable battery operated heart monitor that you might wear for 24 to 48 hours. And like you were saying, it has a few drawbacks already existing and you want to build a really secure one. That's so cool. And you go through the entire process integrating, okay, so not only the Azure Sphere, but also like you've got this SparkFun heart rate monitor, you've got an Arduino, you've got a couple Bluetooth modules, you've got a USB to serial breakout. Do you folks have an engineering background? How did you get into this?
Yeah, actually, let me go through that a little bit.
Sure.
Victor and I met in university, so we both are biomedical engineers. And this project gave us a good opportunity to try to develop something that can help the area that, well, an area that is not very looked at, which is EKG monitoring. EKG monitoring is the basis for various treatment and various like diagnoses related to heart disease. We actually made the point in the project of that. And well, Azure Sphere gave us like a good starting point to develop like a cheap alternative device to what we have in hospitals and clinics, because the ones that we have in hospitals and clinics are very old. They do not use any kind of Industry 4.0 technology nor IoT, cloud. So we wanted to incorporate all that and to get their data and maybe later do something, I don't know, fun with that data. Maybe a machine learning, I don't know, algorithm or something along those lines. Yep.
That would be awesome. It's so cool you have a biomedical engineering background. Yeah, so not only did you weave together a bunch of different pieces of hardware, you also brought together a bunch of different types of software. So normally, you know, the contest only required that you include, for example, the Azure Sphere and then the Microsoft Azure system. But here you've not only done that, but you've integrated it with obviously their Arduino code, this Python code, Node-RED for JavaScript, and also even use this other tool called Mouse Recorder Premium to automate things. And I think it's so genius that you did all, brought together all these different tools to make it as easy as possible. It's so cool.
Yeah, we really try to integrate all kinds of systems to make the best product, the best deployment of the project.
What kind of projects have you built before? Have you worked together before?
Yeah, actually, we have like a lot of projects in this site, so you can go and look at them.
I definitely
we have
will.
been very kind of successful in some of the contests, and most of the projects actually are from biomedical background. So we have a lot of monitors, and I mean, we in the last one that we did with NVIDIA, that one was related to chemotherapy. So
Wow.
if you can. Actually, it doesn't show because I know you can go to the one from Victor, but you can see the one from Brainu. At least that one is actually a kind of alternative therapy for rehabilitation. So yeah, we try to incorporate different techniques and different technology in order to.
So,
to
wow,
try
I didn't even
and get
realize
into
you've already done a
those.
ton of these and won a bunch of different awards.
Yep, yeah, quite so.
Congrats on another win. So, what was it like working with these tools in particular? Was there
Yeah,
anything that you,
well,
oh, sorry.
yeah, well, in related to the health sphere, actually, I think Victor has the one that we use there. Yeah, the main issue that we had with that one actually was the documentation because yeah, Microsoft's documentation for the health sphere is very well paced and very well written, but it is a lot. So it is kind of hard to go through it. But we did that, and also working with the Azure cloud is not that beginner friendly. So it took a lot of time for that one to come across. And well, the other tools that we use, like I mean the joining it with an Arduino platform and also getting it to work with all those other tools was faster because we already got acquainted with those. But at first, yeah, the platform is quite secure. Maybe that's the main issue because you have to go through several steps of security, which is good for a biomedical application because it's one of most the most important information you can have about yourself.
Yeah.
So if you have a biomedical device, in this case, gathering data about yourself, then the idea is for it to be as secure as possible. But in this case, yeah, it takes a while to gather, and for beginners, it's not that easy to accomplish something along the lines of this. But I think that our project and maybe the projects that we also got into this contest can help with those. Yeah, maybe that's the main purpose.
Yeah, it feels like for sure your instructions are so well written and so in depth that it definitely seems like anyone else who runs into the same problems will be able to get a lot of help from your instructions. So at the bottom of the tutorial, you have a section that talks about the future. Oh yeah, it's right below your epic demo video. Yeah, right underneath that it says commentary and future rollout. So it sounds like you already have some future plans for this project. Do you care to go into that at all?
Yeah, well, the main issue is that, as you can see, the Azure sphere is quite big. And a healthcare wearable, in this case, an EKG healthcare wearable. Regretfully, we already disassembled it because we want to make it a little bit better. The main part that we're using is actually this one, which is yeah, more or less, this is the EKG monitor. That one works with this kind of cable, which is just an 3.5 audio cable that you plug in like this. And then you have this kind of pads that you go and set it up in contact with the skin. Those are the electrodes, actually. Well, that was the project that we did right now. But the main issue is that the Azure Health Sphere is quite big. Any other microcontroller is quite big, so we want to go very, very small, maybe even to the size of one of these. This is just like a Samsung watch, a band that you put in order to record your training. We want to go that small, and also we want to improve a little bit on the platform and the use, because this has to be as easy to use as possible. Because nowadays the EKGs that we have in market, well, they are very hard to use. Doctors and other specialists have to go through tons of training to even just deploy them. And well, there hasn't been like someone that comes with an idea or a use case to try to disrupt that market. So we're trying to get something along those lines.
Makes a lot of sense. Are you interested in or are you exploring any of the other contests that are going on right now? Any other plans?
Yeah, surely. We actually...
You don't have to say if it's like a secret, but...
No, not really. I mean, from the newest ones, the one that has arrived, interestingly, is the one that is called Hacking Menopause.
Oh, yeah.
And that's because actually Victor on that side is the only male of his family. He has two sisters. So, wow. And yes, and he has asked around of these problems that women have. And well, in addition to that, one of his sisters is already a doctor. So she knows a little bit about this and how. and we are going to ask her to help us to develop the project for this contest. And that one is quite important because, yeah, you have these symptoms that are being caused by this problem. And
Totally.
well, it is quite big. I mean, for women, they mostly change their way of life hugely just because of the symptoms. And yeah, it is quite a big problem economically, not solely on the medical side. So yeah, that one is the one that we have arrived.
So for this one in particular, you already won an Adafruit gift card, a Patcher premium subscription for making PCBs, and some other cool stuff. Do you have any plans, or have you already used this to develop any further projects?
Yeah, sorry, and my dogs. We want with Patcher design a best PCB for the project, and obviously use the software to create more PCBs for our future projects. And with Adafruit, we will buy a lot of ESPs to create more projects.
Cool. Well, congratulations, folks. Thank you so much for joining me. Anything else you'd like to throw out there or promote? Where can people follow you? Besides Hackster, it looks like you post a lot of cool stuff.
No, actually, I think
follow
through
you.
Hackster, they can reach like all our social networks. Yeah, you can reach us that way easily.
Perfect. Thanks again for joining us. Have an awesome rest of your Thursday, and we'll see you soon on the site.
Thank you.
Hack on.